Look, let's transition to the first GOP Republic debate.
Oh God, here we go.
The fun topic. So look,
again, another area that I know nothing about, but let's just dive in.
Just the deep analysis.
Jumping in the rabbit hole.
We are breaking barriers. So look, Trump obviously didn't attend this for obvious reasons.
He's getting locked up. They won't let him out.
No, but apparently he could have, and he could have, remotely.
Probably finally listening to his PR team.
So he's
he's
leading in the polls. So what I found really interesting. So this is the first time I've actually spent time watching. So I watched the whole damn thing, and it's actually not very easy to get this on YouTube.
I can imagine.
It was quite interesting.
Sorry, I thought you were going to say it was not the easiest thing to watch.
It was it's a spectacle. Like, are they genuine? So I don't understand. Are they like half of the time was spent from the moderators trying to get them to
calm down?
Well, there's rules.
Decorum?
So I think there's 30 seconds or something like that. And if the bell goes, you've got to stop, right?
Yeah.
And then there are people obviously inside there. And how do I explain it? It's like, okay, you know when you saw those old videos of like the stock market where people are just yelling to get it felt like that.
That energy, that makes sense.
But I think, look, you had all the usual suspects that were there in the Republicans, but the individual that I want to lay the spotlight is the man of the hour, which is Vivek Ramaswamy.
I see what the theme is for today's episode.
It's the pro-Indian theme. So just to put it out there. So how they have this arranged is they have all the potential Republican candidates in a line, right?
Yeah.
So the individuals that are in the center of the line are those that are winning in the polls.
Is that typically what's supposed to happen?
No, that's it. So that was it, right?
But Trump's not there.
So if Trump was there, he would be in the center too, right? But if you think of a line, there's two centers, right? You have this center, that center, right?
Yeah.
It's like a horseshoe if you want to think about it like that, right? So you have left and right. And Florida Governor DeSantis. So he.
I know enough about that.
He's in the center, and Vivek is there, which means that he's actually polling quite well.
See, Chance is not happy about that either.
Within that, so it was really interesting. So Vivek Ramaswamy, tech entrepreneur, 38-year-old man. Look, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna talk too much of it, but I'm gonna talk about Vivek. Slick talking, Indian man, perfect white teeth, long hair, 38-year-old.
Obama 2.0.
Well, look, that's what Doug Christie was saying, that I don't want to talk to a guy that sounds like ChatGPT and has a weird surname. And when I heard that, that was
Chance was not happy about that either. That
was a very smart rhetoric from a debating perspective. But I can't help thinking, at what point do you not say that stuff like this is bullying? Like,
that's what their whole political system is based on.
I mean, it was just...
Again, a reactionary statement, but am I wrong?
It was fascinating to watch. Vivek held himself very well. And for a lot of people... So I heard about Vivek maybe a month ago in a podcast, a business podcast called the Olive Podcast.
Yeah, I do remember that.
So prior to this, I'd never heard of this guy before. He is extreme... Like, if you haven't heard of Vivek Ramaswamy, if you thought that Obama was articulate, this guy doesn't stop. So he talks really quick. That's number one.
Because it's the business background,
right? He's clearly used to pitching. He's run for like multi-million dollar companies.
Yeah.
He's an author. He's written books about wokeness and stuff like that.
Sorry, what's the leading business that, like, what's the...
Tech. Bio and tech, right?
Okay.
So I actually heard about it, but I can't remember it. But so what is he standing on? He is old school American. This is the thing about Vivek is he's slick talking. He gives you those Obama sort of vibes. He's young. He's 38. I'm only 30. I'm only 36.
In comparison to a lot of the dinosaurs that would be there.
What was the guy's name? The vice president with Donald Trump? Mike Pence said that we don't need a rookie on the job. That was burn. I loved it. I will say Americans know how to make anything freaking entertaining, because it was just apart from the fact that it was just chaotic, it was really entertaining to watch, and they were taking stabs at him. in the first quarter.
This is terrible. Like the fact that they're making, I mean, I guess you got to find ways to engage people, but I don't think this is the right way to go about it and try and engage
Everything
people
in
into
America
like
is the show, right?
The future, the next 4 years of that country. Like,
so look, this is my like distilling of Vivek, and obviously during time we're gonna follow this. You'll have a look
because it's probably following old mate from the UK.
Yeah.
It kind of feels a bit. It's uncharted territory where it's people of color.
Yeah.
Especially from an Asian point of view.
So it's great,
coming into. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've had our own versions of it here in Australia too, but this is on a grand scale, right? And I think Australia is to come, but we'll see how we go. Yeah.
So this is my view on Vivek, right?
Okay. Lay it down.
And this is the view as at now, so I'm sure it's going to change. I'm going to do a lot more research, and this American presidency is just fascinating, right? So one is, I just don't think Vivek has any shot at the moment. But the fact that he's polling how he's polling is actually incredible.
How is he polling? So you're saying he's high up, right?
Trump is way far ahead of both of these guys. DeSantis,
like say like a 60% or something. I
don't know,
that?
but there's a reason he didn't turn up, apart from the fact that like it probably wouldn't look good broadcasted from jail. Is that he knows that he doesn't have to, right? Because he's there, right?
Yeah, true.
So DeSantis is following
more collateral damage,
and then it's Vivek. But I think the percentage difference are decent. And then you have Haley, and then you have all the other guys, right? Like following there, right? Mm-hmm. So Vivek is a brilliant debater. Clearly, he's an academic. He's written books about wokeness and stuff like this. We're talking about an individual that is at the top of his game. If he's 38, he's been a CEO. He is sharp, right?
Very self-assured.
And I would say almost too sharp. Because
if you're trying to get the favor of the people.
I'm going to give you my analogy of Vivek. Again, this is just gonna fall. This is gonna fall flat.
This is his own what you call it?
Okay,
audition tape.
Vivek Ramaswamy is like KFC chicken. The first couple of bites is amazing. It makes you feel good. You double down on the thigh and the breast, and you say, you know what? I want more of this stuff. But then as you digest it, as you sit down and then you really think about the decisions that you have made, because hold up, should I not have shared the popcorn chicken with my wife or my kids? No, I deserve this. I bought this chicken on my own. It starts to eat at you consciously. And I think the more
Are you having a whole feast without us? What the heck?
I think the more I heard about Vivek, like, so in this,
it kind of unravels. I
tell you what, as a strategy, he has differentiated himself unlike any candidate that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I
haven't seen any other candidate because there were some candidates there that I don't even remember the name. They were clearly on the outer, and they were at the outer there, right? But you think from a lot of these guys have obviously PR firms that talk there, right?
Yeah.
If you're coming in, you're an unknown like Vivek, you have to say almost outlandish things to grab the mediascape, right? To grab the attention in the room, and that's what he does, right?
Because that's how they built the.
This is his story. Immigrant, came with his family, poor, lived the American dream, became a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, all that sort of stuff there, and is now having an opportunity to represent his country at the highest sort of level. And with this, he believes in God. He believes in the family as the greatest institution. He wants to take the troops out of Russia, Ukraine.
Oh, sorry.
He believes in fossil fuels as the way forward for capital. He doesn't believe in climate change. So he is he's getting that dial and breaking it, doing it past 12 and 10. And if you're someone, for example, that's not into politics, he is doing the trail across all podcasts, by the way, all podcasts.
See, that's
how
you use
I can guarantee you he's going to go on Joe Rogan. Like I can see it. But what I'm saying is, for the younger individuals that don't like to listen to politics, the people that listen to Lex Fridman, Andrew Huberman, without even going in, all you say is, you know what? He's a Fortune 500 CEO. Maybe he's not, but he's CEO of a country. He's 38. He talks like me. He thinks like me. He describes his leadership as a revolution. Like these
they all?
But like what I mean is he's really running into this rhetoric. And it's fascinating to watch because of recent time, I can't think of any presidential candidate apart from Obama, potentially, that has come with this sort of vigor and I don't think he's going to. I think he's going to sow the seeds for the next couple of years.
Well, this is the thing, right? So there's a couple of things that have flagged in my head as you were going through that.
With the KFC or?
I could really go for some. This is not sponsored, by the way, but it should be.
It could be.
It could be.
It could be.
It
Like,
really
why are you
could
stuck
be.
on the NRL? Like, people watch.
Okay, don't give them the airtime.
Okay, alright.
I think this is where inclusion and diversity kind of work for people of color, and it doesn't work for Anglo-Saxons.
I disagree there.
Because, let me finish my point first. 'Cause
Yeah.
I did listen to you go through that completely.
Okay,
So just hold your horses there, right? You need to have a point of difference. And of course, if you're going to have that point of difference, to your point, maybe he has gone hard in the paint in that. But of course, you're going to have that point of difference. Another point here is there is the generational difference. We, again, are probably at this point of time where it feels creeping, but I think in this year, seeing this, what the wide change that's happening and the changing of the guard, and as the generation in front of us gets older and older, and what I'd be interested to see as well is what do the numbers look like from a demographic point of view? Because if it's overwhelming that the numbers are much, I don't think it would be. I feel like there's still an aging aging country.
Yeah.
But there has to be, if politics and government is all about having representation for the people, it has to be acknowledged that, to have a point of difference and to be represented, we need to have people who are standing up to be in these, I guess, positions of power. I don't think, that's just how it came out. That's not how I intended to, but you know what I mean, right? Not to be cynical, but it's the time, right? And to your point, maybe it is a long-term strategy where it's like, okay, so they're probably not going to go for it now because we're not like, like our Scandinavian countries where they're very progressive and whatnot.
Yeah.
Whereas it's just planting the seed, to your point, but it's just this, again, unwrapping what has been kind of traditional, if not non-traditional, with Trump, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And now coming into this like kind of something different. Maybe it's too soon as well. From like it kind of feels like, okay, we went there and it was pretty intense. And let's say collectively, America, let's all just kind of be safe again and try and, with Biden, right? Maybe it's a time to jump back. I don't know. But it's interesting.
Can I give you the 4D Vivek chess move? There's no way he gets president, right? There's just no way.
I don't think so. They would have to take a lot. Like Trump would have to die.
So just think, Jesus. Just think of this.
What?
Okay, just think of this. 38. So unfortunately, I went through the whole damn debate. Ron DeSantis, Florida governor. Right? Yep. Hold up. Let me give the resumes of each of these individuals.
I can still boo.
Nikki Haley, former vice president. Mike Pence, former vice president.
Wait, no, sorry.
I'm talking about the resumes.
Right? Yeah. No, what's the?
Nikki Haley was former United Nations ambassador.
Cool.
Doug
Okay.
Christie, New Jersey. What I'm saying is all of them, apart from Vivek, have done the time.
Yeah.
Have done the time and have showed the propensity at a local and state level of running it there.
Yeah.
And that's important. So
of
the
course.
only thing, the only thing that just rubbishes this statement by me is the fact that bloody Trump won it. And this just shows how emotional or the American
blind.
presidency is. But let me give you my presumption on the 4D chess move. The 4D chess move is Vivek knows that he doesn't have a chance to win this one, right?
Yep.
However, the fact of the matter is that he's come out of nowhere. I'd never heard of him until 2 months. And he's second to DeSantis, I believe, in terms of popularity, meaning third overall in the Republican there, right? Albeit that the gap might be decent. If I'm Trump and I'm got that much of a deal, and I see this slick talking guy that's from a business background, I'm from a business background, I win it. How is he not the vice president for me? And that is the 4D
Yeah,
chess move
that is
for
it.
Vivek.
That's
that, right?
That's 100%.
You watch this.
That's
We're going to
100%
timestamp
it.
this. I think Vivek knows
But
he's
hold
not
on.
going to get
The only.
Can I just finish one last point
Yeah,
to this?
all right.
One of the questions that they ask is, who would you pardon Donald Trump if you were voted in? And the first person to raise his hand was Vivek. First person. Didn't think of it for 1 second. 4D chess move.
Politics
Vivek,
is-
I see your cards, boy.
Politics is so
and I'm so
slimy.
proud of you.
This
I'm
is so
proud of you.
slimy. But hold on.
so proud of
This
you.
could all go.
It could go wrong.
Hold on. No. Let me just say this.
Yeah.
You're saying for him
This
to
is
be
my
the
hypothesis, by the way.
just wait.
Yeah.
Just okay, chill now, right? You're throwing the mic levels off probably.
I mean, if
Okay.
Kanye can't get in Vivek.
Oh my
then-
God. Shut up. You're making me employ like GOP tactics to actually say something here. Jesus.
Okay.
See, now I've forgotten my point, what I was trying to say here. No, this is what I was going to say.
Yep.
You're saying this as a means of, like, you're assuming that Trump is actually of sound mind and of good ego to have him as a running mate, as vice president. I genuinely don't think that's going to be the
He's probably
case.
going to get his boy Pence for the second part too. But remember, Pence is the guy that, actually, I'm going to have to research it a little bit more, but
A lot of things have
lot of
happened.
things have
Everyone's got rap sheets of whatever.
I just
get
think that this is the more, it makes sense, right?
It'd be pretty funny.
He knows.
I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest,
Yeah.
but
But if he wants to take this seriously, this is sowing the seeds for the next couple of years. And he has to do the hard yards because
Yeah.
America is not going to allow, I'm sorry, the vast majority, a slick talking tech entrepreneur.
in line with the previous story with Oliver Anthony, that's 100%.
Well, you've got to convince those guys, right?
Yeah.
So those guys are against
Yeah.
the Viveks of the world, right? You're too slick. Anyway, I thought that was interesting.
So many layers to that. That's
It's pretty
definitely
fascinating, though. You got to say it's pretty
definitely
fascinating.
something to watch because it's just there's so much.
Can I say it's
tension.
more fascinating than freaking Australian politics?
Maybe we should run.
Oh shit! All right, down the rabbit hole. Okay. So, this is going to cause some tension between us.
You know it is because he knows
statue
it.
for fourth is nuts. Okay, so let me just paint the.
What are you talking about?
Okay, so the Matildas, they came fourth in the Women's World
Yes,
Cup.
they
Let's
did.
give the clap. Let's give the clap.
Yeah,
That
the
was-
girls.
I mean, the last two performances were shocking, but like they overperformed.
Well,
They outperformed their rankings.
well,
although apparently
but
they've lost their
also-
ranking.
But also the refereeing in the
Here
last
we
game
go. All right. Okay.
questionable.
So,